somebody got an opener?
Oh, I knew I forgot something.
Where are Gyro and Eureka when you need them?
Thanks, guys.
Another mystery solved.
Every day is a new adventure, mysteries and inventions full of fun. Think it through and you'll find the answer. Come have fun with Addison. If you make a mistake, take a break, think it through and try again. If you make a mistake, take a break, think it through and try again with Addison.
Are you ready for an exciting word adventure? Join us as we meet fun letters, discover awesome words, and play with sounds on an epic phonics journey. Sing songs, create words, and have a blast along the way.
My hat and my bag, and let's go visit the market.
Catch Word Adventure on Beelit. Weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. only on TVWAN.
This March, witness the fight for survival and change. Can science bring back what was lost? Explore the astonishing world of gene editing and cloning as scientists push boundaries beyond imagination on the resurrection quest. In southern Bangladesh, refugees, farmers and elephants fight to live in the same space. Is the Freedom Corridor the answer to their conflict? As technology evolves, so do the hidden threats shaping our world. Award-winning series Undercover Asia returns to investigate them. This March on CNA.
Hello and thanks for joining us for another news update. The Porgera Riverine landowners have again called on the government and the Environment and Conservation Protection Authority to honor its commitment made to the Porgera Riverine communities during the transfer of the environment permit. The government and SIPA are facing mounting criticism for their failure to conduct an environmental audit for the riverine communities adversely affected by the discharge of mine waste into the Porgera River. According to a local leader representing the riverine communities and chairman of the Porgera River Alluvial Miners Association, Peter Papo, this negligence has been a source of ongoing concern, particularly in light of the controversial environmental permit issued in 1988, which was granted without a compensation agreement, and the recent transfer of this permit from Barrick to NPL without conducting an environmental audit to verify and assess complaints raised by the affected communities. Considering these ongoing issues, Papo is appealing to SIPA to urgently fulfill its commitment and conduct an environmental audit without further delay. In news overseas, 12 Australian Defence Force members remain in hospital after 2 military vehicles rolled in New South Wales. The soldiers had been assisting cyclone-affected communities in Lismore. Police are investigating the cause of the incident.
On a tough day for some of their military mates, men and women in uniform file into Lismore Base Hospital, where members of their team were taken after a major crash.
In my 32 years of policing, it's the largest accident scene that I've been to.
32 soldiers were travelling in 2 army trucks along a road in Tregeagle, outside Lismore, when both of the vehicles rolled.
It was a very hectic scene when we arrived. We had patients of varying injuries up and down the roadway, and certainly still had 4 persons trapped.
All on board were taken to hospital and a mass emergency was declared. The troops from Queensland's 7th Brigade were in the Northern Rivers helping communities clear up after ex-tropical cyclone Alfred.
This team of 32 had been engaged in route clearance work and were in transit from one task to another when the incident occurred.
These men and women are heroes who are on their way to help people in need. They were doing this at a time when some of their own families were bearing the brunt of Alfred.
The New South Wales Premier wants to make sure the support keeps coming.
I don't want it to dampen the community's need, the state's need, the public's need for help every now and then.
This afternoon, a fresh round of help arrived in Lismore as more soldiers from Queensland were given a tour by police, with conditions still treacherous in parts of the town. Visiting paramedics have also been playing a crucial role in northern New South Wales, plucking patients from flood zones with their world-first fleet of ambulances designed to tackle rivers.
Our HARA vehicle is able to operate safely in a floodwater depth of 1.2 metres, and there have been multiple crossings at that depth through this deployment.
The Prime Minister has praised the efforts of those involved in helping flood-affected communities. Anthony Albanese and the Defence Minister Richard Marles today visited troops in Queensland. It's also expected they'll come here to northern New South Wales in the days ahead.
Authorities are urging Sunshine Coast residents to stay alert as heavy rain in the next 24 hours could bring similar flooding and damage seen in neighbouring communities.
A cascade of water washing out roads and cutting power. The Gold Coast hinterland has been swamped by heavy rain and strong winds.
You got to feel sorry for the people that have businesses. You've seen my avocados, a lot of them are on the ground.
Flash flooding has left cars underwater, and the threat of falling trees is creating anxiety.
We might have to look at relocating because if it doesn't, anything's done, we won't have a home, and especially as renters, and the market's really hard at the moment. If our house goes, we've got nothing.
I'll get the CEO to get onto it because if the arborists are saying that it should be cut down, it should have been cut down.
On the Sunshine Coast, beaches are bare after the arrival of gusty, wet conditions overnight, eroding dunes, creating cliffs of sand.
We don't want anyone to be injured or worse, so please do keep off the dunes.
Bribie Island didn't cop the battering some feared.
We dodged a bullet this time, but the island's still dissolving, and until something majorly gets done about that, infrastructure work down there has to be done immediately.
For many, it was back to regular routines.
I think it's important to just stay grounded during this time, focus on what you can control.
You never know what's going to happen with these things. They could go either way.
I would far rather be over-prepared and see these type of outcomes as opposed to being unprepared and see the consequences of that.
Residents are being warned that the final throes of the weather could bring intense rain of up to 200 millimetres.
So please keep those sandbags where they are. It is no time to be complacent.
After 8 days of waiting, the threat of ex-tropical cyclone Alfred is still looming over the coast. And as the next 12 hours could bring the possibility of heavy rainfall as experienced by neighbours to the north and south, authorities are pleading for a final night of vigilance.
Women's sports, Avis Easy Cruisers are the new champions for the 3rd annual POM MSA Corporate Sevens tournament after defeating the 2023 champions PNG Power in the Cup finals. Before the big dance, both grand finalists had to fight tooth and nail to get through their respective preliminary finals against US Embassy and Brunei International. The Shield finals newcomers Post PNG defeated another newcomer School of Medicine to claim the Shield. The executive of the Port Moresby Men's Softball Association has hailed this year's tournament another great success, thus acknowledged and thanked all the corporate companies that participated in this year's tournament. It's extended gratitude to the Port Moresby men's-based players for volunteering their time to umpiring, catching and scoring over the past 3 weekends. A big thank you to the Port Moresby Women's Softball Association for allowing the slow pitch tournament to use Diamond 2 on Saturdays and also providing the logistics during the 3 weekends of the tournament. Fijian Drua claimed their first win of the Super Rugby Pacific season, stunning competition leaders Chiefs 28-24 at the Churchill Park in Lautoka. The victory snapped the Drua's 3-game losing streak and sent passionate fans into celebration despite the heavy rain that poured down throughout the match.
The Fijian Drua entered this match win class without a victory to their name, following narrow losses to the Brumbies, Hurricanes and Waratahs. For coach Glenn Jackson, this was an opportunity his team could not afford to let slip. On the other hand, the Chiefs arrived as competition favourites, sitting at the top of the table after 3 rounds. However, they were without All Blacks playmaker Damien McKendry, who was sidelined due to injury. Despite this, the Chiefs were determined to maintain their winning run. All Blacks Samisoni Taukeaho crashed over in just the 2nd minute, finishing over Rollin Maul in his first start of the 2025 season. With Josh Jacob taking over kicking duties for the Chiefs, his first goal attempt went astray, but the visitors still held a 5-0 early lead. It took nearly 20 minutes for the Druas to get on the scoreboard, with Isaiah Armstrong Ravula starting at fly half in place of Caleb Moons, slotting a penalty goal to make it 5-3. But just as the Drua were starting to build momentum, the Chiefs struck again. Jimmy Tupou powered over the line, and this time Jacob converted successfully, pushing the lead out to 12-3. The Fijians responded with another penalty from Armstrong Ravula, but a missed attempt right before halftime left the Drua trailing 6-12 at the break. With tough conditions making ball control difficult, it was still anyone's game heading into the second half. In the second half, the Fijian Drua turned the match on its head, rallying in front of the passionate home crowd, and came up with 28-24 win. This victory will give the Fijian side a much-needed motivation heading into their next game. Rex Lita, TVWAN Sports.
On Saturday, the Papua New Guinea Olympic Committee observed International Women's Day with an insightful and engaging workshop attended by staff, board members, President Emma YY, and a few of the Team PNG athletes and officials. The event began with a powerful speech by President YY, the first female president of the PNGOC, who spoke on the IWD theme, Accelerate Action, emphasizing what it means for women in sports and the barriers they continue to break. This was followed by an inspiring talk by Managa Tapari, PNG's first female para-athlete to compete at the Olympics, who shared her journey as a multi-sport athlete in athletics, badminton, and taekwondo, proving that disability does not define one's ability to succeed. Participants then split into groups to discuss the challenge women in sports face and explore solutions PNG OC and Commonwealth Games PNG can implement to create lasting change. And that ends our update for today. Do join us at 6 tonight for more news and sports. Bye for now.